Just a couple of hours to go, and on the streets of Kigali, there is no sign that Rwanda's political landscape may soon change. And the outcome is easily predicted, at least on the surface.
Yes, as they say, yego in Kinyarwanda.
We don't want any change because our president is very important.
We need this to change because we want a better future for our children.
I am 63 years old, and since I was born, I have never seen the kind of security and development that we have now.
I don't know about others, but since 1994, I can say our country has changed a lot.
Almost 4 million Rwandans have signed a petition demanding a constitutional change. They want President Kagame, who is ineligible to run in 2017, allowed to run again for another 7 years, and then possibly for 2 5-year terms stretching to 2034. The opposition claim otherwise. Tuyishime Jean and the opposition Green Party tried to challenge the referendum.
We're not expecting victory because we were not even given time to campaign, and we know that the process is already flawed.
President Paul Kagame is credited with ending Rwanda's 1994 genocide. Some have since then questioned his strategies when it comes to civil liberties. But Rwanda remains one of the most stable nations in East Africa. Ruling party MPs have been carrying out civic education on the vote in the districts. They say it's all about the people.
We aren't amending it in the interest of one person, but we are following the constitution as it is. That Article 193 states that anytime the people wanted to change this article, we'll change it.
The Electoral Commission says it too is ready.
The time is not short because we are Rwandans in the first place. We have been following what was taking place from the time the population started petitioning.
Well, the EU and the US have all objected to the vote, but President Paul Kagame maintains that this is about Rwanda, the nation, its people and interests, and that he will make a decision based on the outcome of the referendum. Jane Keo, CCTV, Kigali, Rwanda.
Now, joining us live from the capital, Kigali, is CCTV's Jane Keo. Jane, of course, we know that Rwandans living abroad are already casting their votes, but tell us how preparations are going there in the capital, Kigali, where you are.
Well, Lindy, I'll tell you what, those preparations are indeed in top gear, but that's according to the Electoral Commission. It's been distributing the electoral material since yesterday, dispatching them to the different polling centers. But that's really as far as it goes in terms of the hallmarks of elections or a campaign or a referendum as important and historic as this one on Friday. Now, with just a couple of hours to go, there's not really much evidence or really much going on in terms of campaigns, in terms of posters, advertisements or debate in regards to this historic vote, just due in a couple of hours. Now, of course, officials will tell you, or they are telling us, that this is largely a people-driven process. It's not the other way around, and that's what makes the situation here in Rwanda different. Keeping in mind that about 2/3 of the voters, that's 3.7 million people, did petition or demand for this change in a petition back in July. Now, what we know is that the process has already begun in the diaspora. We've got people in the diaspora in Kenya, in neighboring countries, voting for this exercise. Today, tomorrow, the exercise takes place here in Rwanda. About 6.4 million people are registered to vote. Lindy?
With that many people registered to vote, it really seems that there's going to be a strong showing at this vote tomorrow at the referendum. But just tell us what Rwandans are saying about this exercise.
Well, Linda, it's interesting because when you speak to many people, of course, there's little doubt about the outcome of this referendum tomorrow. So, as you'd expect, the vast majority of those people we are talking to or we've spoken to are somewhat excited. They say this is their constitutional right to change the constitution. It is their constitutional right to want to keep and to extend President Paul Kagame's tenure. Of course, this is a man who's widely credited with changing the dynamics in this country, bringing economic development development. Of course, Rwanda is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. But then again, the man himself, President Kagame, has not really said much in regards to the exercise. He says he's waiting for the outcome of the referendum to make his decision. But then also when you speak to the critics or the opposition, they think otherwise. They have been decrying about even the timing of the referendum. They say they've not really been given time to even to promote or to sell their no agenda. So some of those even who are against are saying they will not be taking part in the exercise. Lindy?
Right, well, thank you very much, Jane Kio, live for us there in Kigali, Rwanda.